police officers on bars and are opened as at 5 a.m. Half of the police in a particular police station are drunk all the time.
Yes, this law provided, if you look, it provided an officer who is the equivalent of the public health officer to be named as alcoholic drinks control officer. Was supposed to be a nice pastor, a nice teacher from that area, a good police officer, a good citizen like you, who was going to be gazetted as alcoholic drinks control officer. Purposely, they forgot to read that one. Purposely.
Who now?
People who were supposed to read. So they didn't read that one. So we are going to gazette specific officers. So that
the next
those people, and those people involve the public in that selection, so that we know men of goodwill, men and women who are upright, alcoholic drinks control officers. They're here. They're provided for in this law, 2010.
For every county, for every district,
for every area. It depends on the concentration of the pubs. Some places don't require them, like the eastern. You may have only one or two, but places now like Juja South, where you have 6,000. Juja South constituency has 6,000 wines and spirit, and I'm telling them most of them are not licensed. They will be picked. They better not shout at Mututho. Just close today. Sell that stuff you're having today, or throw it to the river. Because once the auditors confirm the serial numbers today, tomorrow we will swing, and we'll come in a way that is watertight. You must go to jail the way we should come in. That is our.
They must be jailed.
They must be jailed because we have proof.
But
for swindling the license, continuing to poison Kenyans with fake licenses, you think you'll be forgiven by the courts?
Perhaps your final word in terms of, even as we move on to the festive season, what is your message to Kenyans?
My message to Kenyans is that do enjoy, and enjoy responsibly. Truly, it is important to enjoy yourself. It's good to have a cup of tea. It's good to have a glass of wine. It's good to have a bottle. One of my favorite drinkers, who almost induced me to drinking, and I spoke about him the other day in one of the stations, in one of your stations. It's a man called Nyaga, the first person to introduce standards. He's my friend. I don't have a problem mentioning by name.
Nyaga who?
Let me just read it at Nyaga. And Nyaga is a man who introduced standards in expiry date in bread. In your time and my time, bread didn't have an expiry date, you remember, in the 80s. And you remember there was big news that time. There was no citizen. And he almost got killed for introducing expiry date in bread. He was trained in Russia. And Nyaga used to come, and you would go to a place called Ozeru, Dubuini, and you would sit with him. I wasn't drinking. I'm not drunk. But I liked buying him a beer, because we would go there in the afternoon and take our seat, make sure there is no dust on the table and everything. Then the beer would be brought, and there was a ceremony. He would have it placed there. He looks at it very carefully. Then tells me, look, John, this bottle has to be opaque for these reasons. And then I'm given the scientific reasons why that bottle has to be opaque. And this is beer, and it's supposed to be like this. You see the forming? He describes it for me. And then the ceremony comes. He pours the beer very neatly, very, very, very neatly on the glass. Looks. Then he look at it, and then sips, keeps quiet, and he would do like this. Wait. Another sip. Yeah, this is it. The rounding up. This is how the brewing was done. He would tell me the science, and I would sit there admiring him. He would normally take not more than 2 beers. But the man taking beer was a ceremony. It was neat. It was good. The guy was enjoying. You tell you see. He's the one who told me there are over 200 breweries in Munich, and there is, of course, the Munich, there is a beer festival every October, and he would tell me the difference between beers and everything else, and how it is done, and why the temperatures in barrel must be of this type, and why you must have this amount of carbon, and so forth. We would sit there. I would sit there waiting. I was taking Sprite, and I would sit there waiting for the lectures from Nyaga, and until after 2 hours, then I'm out of it. It was never the issue of these guys who used to have a whole table with a crate of beer, another one seated there and shouting and yelling and belching. It was not there. That is the kind of thing I really would like to see you do this Christmas. Enjoy your beers. Enjoy your brandy. Enjoy your whiskeys. Enjoy whatever you want to enjoy. But do it in a manner that is civilized, in a prescribed manner. Respect your neighbor, respect the Constitution, and respect the children. And keep within the law. Alcobro is here. You'll be caught. And I really salute Kamau, Chief Secretary Kamau, or CABSEC, like they're calling them these days. I really salute him. I had talked about it yesterday. I'm going to talk about it again today. I'll continue talking about it. If you want to drink, it's good. And if you're feeling not very sober, use the pubs which are generally registered at a PERAC. And the PERAC now have had, for the last about couple of weeks.
PERAC stands for?
It's an association of the bar owners. Okay. It's the equivalent of those ones of Naivasha. They have also a bar owner association. They hire certain taxi drivers who are known, and you pay at the counter, and then you are driven home, and the car is parked safely for you until the following day. That is civilization.
Wow.
If you must drink beyond the limit, please also drink in those pubs.
The police misuse the alcohol, and they are going to misuse it again. Because if you go to the entrance of Carnival with alcohol, waiting for those people who are coming out, obviously, that's not. No.
There'll be a printout. There'll be a printout this time. The alcohol coming in has a printout, so you'll see it is yourself, and you have the data there, and for sure you are ready to pay 100,000. Your balance from drinking inside Carnival. I was just saying that if you look at some of them, some of the drinking places, check what arrangement they have, so that you don't pick any cab, because there'll be thugs outside also waiting. So that you pay at the counter, your car is parked very safely, then you are taken as a passenger, so you don't have a problem with alcohol. You can go belching the whole alcohol that you need to do. And the police officer will have nothing to do with you. He'll talk with the cab driver for that particular matter. But if you are conscious enough, and you say, like they say, from where I come from, that the car knows home, then the police is going to intercept that car, and you are going to be in trouble.
All right. Many thanks. A final word, one more take.
I think, as he says, drink responsibly.
Drink responsibly.
And take care of children. Children should not drink. But I like the fact that he is going to make sure no alcohol is sold anywhere in this country.
It's the selling, not consumption.
It's the selling, not the consumption. But even timing. You cannot go to a supermarket when you draw your trolley at 10 o'clock in the morning. You include beer there. The beer will be thrown out.
It will be thrown out automatically.
It will be thrown out. You will not buy beer from that supermarket.
Correct.
It will be thrown out. And if you have that shop where you are calling wines and spirit, you will not open before 5.
Correct. Tell them again, you will not open before 5. And if you have in your car opened the beer and you are driving, then the police will do their job. What the hell do you have doing with open alcoholic drink before the time? And also the petrol stations, you know, petrol stations are put for petrol, honestly. They are not meant for drinking and dangerous driving. I'm sure you're wishing me Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. And Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you so much. Talking to the NACADA boss, John Mututho. We'll be right back.